Hey guys, welcome back to another round, 3 rounds of War Robots with Stupendous. So I'm Stu, as most of you guys know if you're watching this video. And today what I'm bringing you is so this is the second round in the 6-pack league tournament for May of 2018. And so this is my team, Hounds of Hades versus Wiki Black. So there's a couple of Wiki teams. This one is Wiki Black, headed by Gilded Wolf, who just dropped in over there. So from your guys' feedback from the last 6-pack video, I didn't do any commentary or anything like that, and but most people wanted it, and a bunch of people were like, "Hey, that's one of the things or why we like your channel, or what makes your channel great is because of your commentary," kind of thing. So I figured we would bring the commentary in for this, and we'll just talk about general strategy and stuff like that, and things that I did in the rounds to do things, or things that the other team did that were great. And this is the perfect time for that example. So I'm over here by myself, or I was by myself until I had called out that these guys were making a push towards our side beacon, and then Bronze Knee came over to help me out. So I was trying to stay outside of that Carnage Zeus's sight line so that I wasn't taking unnecessary damage from him. But being able to be on comms and calling out things like that to my teammates is incredibly useful. So if you guys have never used Discord before, when you're playing the game, or when you're playing, I guess like any multiplayer game kind of thing, I definitely recommend it. It makes a really big difference, especially for team play on something like this. You can coordinate attacks and and things like that, and it's available on your phone, it's available on your PC, whatever you're playing on. So I would definitely recommend getting that. A lot of gamers use it, and it's very, very useful, very intuitive. It's easy to do stuff with. So if you're not already using that, like in your clan, things like that, then I would highly recommend getting it. And if you're considering playing on 6-pack, I think probably all of the 6-pack teams, I would assume, run on voice comms as well. So, fun fact. So I dropped into, I knew what my teammates were running. I knew that they were running a bunch of Punisher stuff, and that's usually because they're seeing Ansel shields, and so that's when we get our Punishers out, is to help drop those. we call them Punishers or Shredders kind of thing. Not like Ninja Turtle Shredder, but anyway, yeah. So I knew that they were bringing those out, and so I dropped into my Death Button Griffin so that as the Ansels get worn down, then I'm able to drop in like really quick damage for that short time frame when the Ansel is all the way down. And so that's just coordinating team play kind of thing. That's probably what any team would do is to call out something like that. But when I'm playing so I guess usually when I'm playing, I tend to play solo like 90% of the time, because I kind of enjoy that. I enjoy playing with the team and everything, but solo is definitely my preferred mode, or my preferred way to play. Probably to the I don't know. I imagine Iron Smiles probably doesn't like that much. I try to play with them as much as I can, but a lot of times I like just getting in and starting a match and stuff like that. So right here, I probably could have stayed alive. I was trying to get away from all of that fire that was coming in towards me. I was in a really bad spot. I was pinned in from the hallway. I was pinned in from the main entrance to center from the enemy side, and I wasn't able to do anything. So with that happening, I had to get out of the way. But of course, I ended up having a classic Stupendous Griffin jump where I hit my head straight on the ceiling, and instead of doing something cool, I did something lame. So pretty classic Stu there. But had it worked, I probably could have stayed alive long enough to get away from the guy who was in the hallway, because I think I had a teammate pressuring from the side. So with my Fujin, what I'm doing is I'm playing defense, or playing zone. I'm backing off from center so that I can cover center and then cover some other sight lines as well. So I'm not sitting in the middle of center, and I'm not really far up the hallway. I'm covering the area as best I can, and then coordinating with teammates, like, okay, where do you need me? Where do you need Punishers? And then when I need to reload, trying to drop back. I was taking too much damage. I had moved in too much, and I probably didn't need to do that. So I took a bunch of unnecessary damage. So in retrospect, I should have backed off before that and continued pressure with my Punishers into the center area. And again, moving forward like that was unnecessary. I could have just waited for them to move forward. So just before I had died, my teammates had called out that they were making a push up the side, and these guys, Wiki Black, they were doing like every single round. You guys will see, like, they had us running the entire time. Like there was never a dull moment the entire game. and you know this one's no exception. We had to run all over the place to try to, you know, compensate for like these really good team plays and things like that they were doing. And yeah, so really great. These guys are fun to play with and fun to play against. So definitely hats off to you guys, Wiki Black. So victory on this first one, and then so for those of you who aren't familiar with the 6-pack league, so all of your stuff can only be level 6 or lower, and it cannot be a component item, weapon or bot. With keeping that in mind, so all of this stuff that you're seeing, this is all level 6, and all the gameplay that you're seeing is sped up 50%, so just so you know, just so that the video is not so long. And so I would definitely recommend speeding up the video yourself on your device. Whether you're watching on PC or on mobile, you can go to the settings and you can change the playback speed. I would recommend probably putting it at 1.5 times speed. It'll make your video about 13 minutes, but if you didn't know that and you've been watching it and want to do that, I'm sorry for those first like 6 minutes of your life that maybe you want back. So definitely recommend doing that. But again, with my team here, I was calling out, I was like, help me, because I had seen these 3 Ragakas moving up on our beacon here, and so I was doing my best to, you know, to stay alive and put pressure on them, but these guys were killing it, like trying to you know, keeping us away from center and pushing on the beacon and everything. It was a really good strategy. Luckily we had a couple teammates, so Johnny 5, I think he brought quite a few Ancelots into our team, and so I think they were able to hold center down with those guys while the Ragakas moved up the side here. But yeah, so for futures for you guys, I will put a pinned comment down below for how to join the 6-pack league, whether that's, you know, through joining via a team that's already established or starting your own team. I'll try to put some information down there, and I'm not going to be able to get to it right away. I'll do it tonight after I'm done with some stuff. I've actually got to go pick up my dad in a little bit. He lives in a nursing home, so we're having him over today for dinner, and I've got to go get him and make dinner and stuff like that. So the comment will probably be there this evening, so make sure you check back if you are interested in getting into the 6-pack league, and I will be making a video on that as well. I haven't got to it, and I did tell a couple of people that last week for the other 6-pack match. So anyway, so this is May's tournament. This is the second round of the tournament. So we played last week, and we were able to win that, and so we advanced, and we're playing again right now. So it's best out of 5. So this is round 2, 2 of potentially 5 that we could be playing against these guys. So I'm just paying attention to what's going on here. I'm waiting to see where I can be effective, because I don't want to just fire into Ansel shields. I mean, if I'm playing by myself, like if I'm playing solo, like I was talking about earlier, how I typically do, I would be shooting Ansels all the time, regardless of what I had, because it's very common in Champion League for people to not shoot Ansel shields. And so I'm like the only guy doing it. Everyone else is waiting for someone else to do it so then they can have the damage. And I don't care about my damage score, so I'll shoot Ansels all day long. But when you're playing with a team, make sure you're coordinating with your team. And that's what we're doing here, is I'm not wasting my ammo where it doesn't need to be wasted. Because if we've got teammates with like shotguns or teammates with punishers, we can let them drain the Ansels quickly. Because the Ansel's taking all of the damage, regardless of the bullet spread. It's taking like all of the damage, so it's dropping really fast. And then with the Orkans, if I'm running them or somebody else is running them, then we can move in and we can finish the player off or severely maim them with the death button there. So, but yeah, so that's what I was doing down in that hallway. I was just looking around. I was waiting to see who was in range, what I could shoot, where I should shoot, and what I should call out, kind of thing. These guys got center back. Luckily, at the very beginning there, after their 3 Ragakas had moved up on us and tied us up there for a while, we were able to move up and take their beacon, and we held a 4 cap for as long as we could, knowing that it would give us a really big beacon lead. And so these guys then, if we hadn't had that at the beginning, these guys probably would have won this round. But luckily, we were able to move in and take it. But yeah, this round ended up being pretty intense. After that, because center, as you guys know, on the carrier, can be really hard to take back. So I'm coordinating with my team. They called out that there's an Ansel shield, and so I popped up and started to drop it. And so this particular position, especially for newer players out there, veteran players, you're probably already very familiar with this spot. But if you're going to make a play to take center back, this is the best spot to have somebody camped out at, especially if you're on a team. That's the best spot to have somebody camped out at so that you can coordinate getting center back. Because either you are close to center because you're just down on that ramp, you can just zip right up and into center, or you can provide the cover necessary for your teammates and, you know, distracting their fire hopefully towards you, and then it's just hitting the floor in front of you instead of actually hitting you because you're down the ramp. And then your teammate can move into center instead and take it from, like, right here where I'm moving up with my Fujin. So we've got teammates down on the ramp right now, and so I'm moving up with my Fujin, but unfortunately I was out of ammo, and Johnny 5 was ready to move in, but regardless whether I'd gotten there or not, or whether I had ammo or not, I wouldn't have been able to reach him in time to save him from the combined firepower of Wiki Black here. So I'm just waiting for a teammate to move up here, and at this moment I had a teammate call out. There was he said Mycroft's in a death button, I think is what he said, and I was like, oh, okay, sweet, good to know. And then as soon as I saw Mycroft jumped, I hit my shield, but he still was able to take out half of my health. But my teammate was immediately behind me as well, so he probably would have been damaged from the splash had I not put my shield up, and I wouldn't have put it up fast enough if my teammate hadn't called out the fact that there was a death button there. So I'm moving into center here, trying to help lock down the beacon. Unfortunately, we ended up having a Tehran Ancelot there that was able to assist in taking me down. So another solid win. Again, very well played on both sides. I feel like both teams employed some really good strategies there. So for those following along at home, since we're playing best out of 5, my team's won 2, so we only need 3 more to end today's round. And so right now I'm moving over towards the left because I see this presence over here. But as I was taking center, I was looking and calling out what was happening, and so was my teammates. My teammates were like, okay, we've got these guys moving this way, these guys moving this way. And so we moved in to intercept this team over here, which kept them from moving towards the left beacon, but it also distracted me from moving towards the left beacon. So ended up being a wash probably strategically. And so I moved in to take center. I think one of my teammate in the Carnage, he was taking center, and he thought he had it, but I think he moved off like half a second too early, and so then I ended up going neutral again. So I grabbed center, and then I decided to draw these guys back to their home beacon. But I think at this moment, in retrospect, I should have moved just straight to the left beacon instead of going for their home beacon. Yes, I pulled those guys over there, and I pulled them away from, you know, strategically moving somewhere else on the map, but I think we probably would have been better off if I had gone and faced the Orc and Regaka on the other side and helped to take the left beacon. You guys will have to let me know what you think about that. Maybe it would have been a wash again, strategically, but I think it could have turned out a little bit better than it did. I think going for their home beacon might have not been the right call. So, and again, you guys will have to let me know what you think about that. So I'm moving over here. I knew I had a teammate that had a death button, and so I'm moving up to cover his advance, because from where the Civic Center right here starts, I have a full sight line down to where they could be popping out, and so then I can cover him as he's moving forward into firing range, and then that would hopefully keep them back, that kind of thing. So we were moving up together for that reason. So again, if you're playing with a team, make sure you coordinate that. So I saw Mycroft moving into center, and so I called it out to my teammates. No one had noticed it until I had said it. So again, that's something else when you're playing with a team. Make sure you're calling out what you see. If strategically you see that someone's moving towards one of the advantages that you have on the battlefield, whether that's a sight line or a beacon, call it out, and your teammate can help you stop them. So as you saw, just before he got to the center beacon at all, that Rhino was taken out completely. So that worked out real well. And so right here, I'm trying to cover. Snack and I were trying to decide if we were going to move up into center, but I let him know that he just had 2 Regakas drop in, and so I told him to drop back, and I'd cover his sight lines from some of the range stuff over there. So I'm firing over there. I knew I didn't have a target, but I'm firing over there to keep people behind cover. So just a little strategic thing. A lot of times if people see the fire coming through there, they won't come out at all. And so that's what I was trying to do. And unfortunately, Permanent Riot caught me here with half a clip. And so that didn't work out great for me. And I just looked to the right and I saw the Snack had gone down. And but I was getting some cover fire from my teammates moving in there as well. But I wasn't sure if I was going to be able to take out that Rog before he could take me out. But luckily it worked out. So. And again, I'm just using my Punisher Griff to cover into center. Because I have the range, I've got the option of multiple sight lines here. So I could be shooting in towards their home, where I could be shooting a couple of other lanes here, like the narrow lanes over on the right beacon. I can also cover that region that away. So right here I'm trying to cover Johnny 5 as he moved in. That was probably unnecessary on my team's part, moving in to try to take their home beacon, but I guess we decided to go for it anyway. I don't really recall that moment on comms or whatever, but so right here moving up, and I see that I see all these Punishers and Thunderfire coming in on my teammate's Ansel, and so I'm moving up right in front of him so that I can start blocking some of the fire for him. And in 6-pack league, especially, or in lower leagues, the Fujin Shield, as you guys know, in my opinion, is kind of overpowered, but yeah, so it has like 1,000 less hit points than you have on your bots, no matter what level you're at. And so it's very, very powerful, but you guys know the caveat is that you have to be in your sentry mode for your shield to be able to recharge. So that's one of the things that helps to balance its abnormally high hit point pool, and just something to consider, I guess. And so right here, I remember on comms, my teammate was trying to coordinate with me, but I was just like, I don't know what, I was like a jumbled mess in my brain, and I wasn't like I wasn't like comprehending what he was saying or what was going on. And so he was trying to cover me with his Ansel shield, and you saw him like right at the end of that clip, if you rewind right to where my last bot died, my Fujin. He tried to like cover me with his Ansel, and that's what he's trying to tell me, but I was like I was like too dumb for it to work, so it was kind of funny. But anyway, here it looks like we have the game in the bag at this point. I'm just grabbing center because we're down a player, and just to be certain, I'm making sure that we have the beacon. And so I'm moving in here to help take out this last guy here before the timer runs out. And that's pretty much game. So again, if you guys have any feedback on how you want these videos presented, we can do it a few different ways. Definitely let me know. Let me know if you even like seeing the 6-pack videos. And yeah, anyway, I hope you guys have an amazing day.